Pope Leo arrives in Spain tomorrow at a moment when Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez could use some good news. The Spanish leader is under pressure from corruption allegations involving family members and party colleagues. And with the Pope attracting media attention, some wonder if that will provide Sanchez with a political boost. The corruption allegations have led many Spaniards to take to the streets demanding Sanchez's resignation. A huge anti-government protest took place in Madrid last month.
Spain has hit rock bottom and we know who's to blame. He has to go. It's not enough to get rid of the minions when their boss is still running the country.
We're calling for general elections once and for all. Let Spain decide. We have to kick out this criminal gang.
Well, for Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, the timing of Leo's visit could not be better. Sanchez is dealing with corruption cases. His family is under legal scrutiny with trials around his wife and brother. And there are problems within his own party. Well, let me pull in Carlos de Vega now to talk us through all of this. Carlos is deputy video editor at País and is one of Spain's most experienced political journalists. He has reported from Washington and from right here in Berlin, where we were once DW colleagues. Carlos, it's good to see you again. Good to have you back with us. The Pope's arrival in Spain, is it a godsend for the Prime Minister?
Good to see you too, Brent. I see that you are as handsome as always. Yeah, probably. I mean, probably, because this is the best news that Pedro Sanchez is going to have in the next few days. It's a prime minister used to miracles, and that could be another one in his political career in the coming days.
A miracle. I mean, Sanchez is dealing with some things that aren't so miraculous. He's not personally charged in any of these cases, but the list of problems is long. His wife, his brother, former senior socialist officials, the Coldo case and the Abalos scandal. I mean, accusations around contracts and influence. I mean, what's the most dangerous threat to Sanchez politically right now?
Well, the most dangerous threat is that one of these scandals ends with allegations that the Socialist Party was financed illegally. That would be the red line to lose the political support that he has in the Congress, in the Parliament, with different political groups that support the government. That finance illegally, or the suspicion that that could happen, would be probably the end of this legislative process.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk a moment about his wife and his brother and their cases. Sanchez says that this is a politically motivated campaign by the right and the far right. His opponents say that this is exactly what powerful people always say when the courts get too close. I mean, which version is closer to the truth?
Well, I would say that both cases are now before the courts. One fact is that both cases originated by far-right associations making the complaint at the courts. And both, are accused of influence bidding in order to obtain their jobs. My opinion is that both cases are being exaggerated. That's my real thought. Mm-hmm. I believe if we do the same study of any of the families of the prime ministers in the last 45 years in the Spanish democracy, mm-hmm. probably we will find many things that were not 100% legal. But in any case, we'll have to wait a few weeks, a few months, probably in the case of the wife of Pedro Sanchez, mm-hmm. to see what is in there. But these cases are probably much different from the others you mentioned, that there are really serious allegations about the behavior of members of the government, members of the political party, the Socialist Party, that these family matters, that we will see what ends.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, when we consider that Sanchez, he came to power promising cleaner politics after corruption damaged the conservative Popular Party. I want you to take a listen to what he said about all of these scandals and accusations. Take a listen.
Every time there's been behavior that did not align with the values and principles of the Socialist Party and the democratic socialism we represent, we have acted decisively. By the same token, we will also respond to smear attempts with absolute firmness.
So, Carlos, has the central charge now become that Sanchez is guilty of the same thing that he once condemned? Or is that too easy? Is that too simplistic?
I would say that it's not completely the same. In the case of the Popular Party, that was a political party convicted by the Supreme Court and the Audiencia Nacional, in that case, for being an organization operated as a criminal enterprise, finance itself with illegal funds. And now in the courts are members of that government, the conservative government, are being judged because they use institutions of the state, like the police, to fight against the adversaries. So this is in the case of the Partido Popular. In the case of the Socialist Party, what we have until now are members of the party or members of the government who act irregularly, illegally, but in his own benefit. So there is not this jump to the organization, to the party itself, or to the use of the government. Okay. That's the main difference up to the moment. That could change probably in the coming weeks, in the coming months, when we know more things. But this is a big difference between one case and the other.
The Pope's visit, it puts migration at the center of the national conversation. Leo was expected, I think, to go to the Canary Islands and speak directly about migrants who risk their lives crossing to get to Europe. Sanchez has pursued a more open approach. Does the Pope's message, does it strengthen him politically by giving moral language to a policy that you know as well as I do that is politically very controversial?
Yeah, probably that's going to be one of the strongest messages of the Pope, and the government is going to try to use that in favor. Actually, last day, Prime Minister announced that he's going to accompany, to be with the Pope in the Canary Island. That was not in the agenda, in the original agenda, and he's going to go with him when he meets with immigrants in Canary Island. So the socialists hope that this is a matter that could be possible to attract moderate voters in the future, because immigration is controversial, but it's true that there are many people in this country being conservative that thinks that immigration is more benefit than not immigration. So this is going to be central for the government, and to just use the visit of the Pope as a political advantage.
And Carlos, you know, there's a little bit of an irony here, I guess. Sanchez has described himself as an atheist, and now a pope may help him politically more than many elected allies can help him. How is that playing in Spain?
You know, the Spanish politics are so polarized that probably anything that the Pope could do to benefit Sanchez, or the things that Sanchez could try to benefit from the Pope, it's not going to matter a lot among the Spaniards, because this is the people who hate Sanchez or the people who love Pedro Sanchez. And nothing that he does, or the international projection that he's having for the international opinions, nothing is helping here. Even the economy that is running very well in Spain is not affecting this support or this hate with Pedro Sanchez. So in the case of the Pope, I think that this is going to be the same. He's going to, probably he will try to have nice pictures, nice events with him, but I'm not sure that there's going to be a political benefit, a real benefit in the polls or in the support of Pedro Sanchez in the coming months.
You know, Carlos, Sanchez is popular abroad. Internationally, I mean, he sells himself as a progressive European leader, pro-Ukraine, pro-Palestinian recognition, pro-migration, pro-Europe. At home, he is accused of being a power-hungry, corrupt politician. I think, you know, the opposition has called him Pedro Sanchez, which is a play on words, which means, you know, the dog Sanchez. And he's taken that and tried to turn it around and maybe call himself something like an attack dog, a taquicanino. How strong would you say, though, that is this split-screen reality for him inside Spain?
It's completely split because the last few years, what mattered the most in politics is not what is going on the streets or the policy the government or the opposition would propose. It's more the personal attack. So one and the others, what they play is to dehumanize the adversary. So in the case of Pedro Sanchez, that was a process that started a few years ago that is going stronger and stronger. And as you said, many people call him perro, dog. He took that name and just put it in his favor, calling himself like a perro. But it's really 50-50 is what I told you before. You hate him, you love him. The people who hate him even think that this is an ugly person physically. The people who love him is always going to say that this is the most handsome human being in planet Earth. Yeah. So it's really black and white. There is no middle term.
Yeah, well, I guess in politics, too, beauty is still in the eye of the beholder. Pedro Sanchez, he's known for being a political survivor. When Pope Leo, when he leaves Spain, what do you think? Will the Prime Minister be stronger? Will he be weaker? Or will he simply be standing in the same storm?
You know, what the government said is Pope is coming this week, then is the World Cup, then are the holidays, summer holidays. So if we are alive for summer, will be in the fall already. And the restart of the season, I mean, the season is another different world from September. So anything could change. So the point now is to be on summer alive, and then we'll see what happens.
That's right. Survive the summer and do it with or without those attack dogs. Carlos de Vega joining us from Madrid. Carlos, good to see you. We appreciate you helping us put this story in context. Thank you.
Good to see you too, Brent.